Hey there, welcome to this acrylic pumpkin still life painting lesson. I'm Mike Ferris. To get started, I'm going to be on my 11 by 14 inch pre-stretch canvas and my image already laid out as you can see. And if you'd like to draw this out beforehand, I do have the traceable available down in the description box, as well as colors, materials, and a short video on how I transfer images to my canvas. So I'm going to be starting with my number 16 flat brush for the background here. It's just going to be a basic dark value, so I got permanent black and some raw umber to start with, and I'm just going to start with these two until I get to the other colors. So I'm just going to mix a fairly equal amount of the raw umber and permanent black together, and with this I'm just going to start to block in everything basically around all the general shapes and bring it down to about where it goes. So because the background is out of focus, I'm going to have these fuzzy lines as you can see here. And that's the whole idea with out of focus, is to have those fuzzy lines and to basically have everything look like a blended kind of effect. Now around the pumpkin, as you can see, I'm going to use the edge of the brush and have a very crisp line because the pumpkin is going to be in focus, but I'll get to all the effects here in just a moment. For now, just blocking in the background. Okay, now I'm going to go to my number 4 natural flat bristle brush. These natural bristles are excellent, and with a dry natural bristle brush I can get these effects really well with the out of focus and the fuzzy lines. So now to my palette, I've added some violet, permanent red, cad orange, yellow medium, burnt umber, and titanium white. So I do apologize, I went a little further than I wanted to with that black, but easy fix. I'm just going to take some titanium white, and I'm just going to cover up all the black that I didn't want there. And of course, white will cover up black better than any other color will, and it is the most opaque. So I'm going to start in the background here now while that dries, and I'm going to take some violet, a little bit of permanent red to that. So I want this kind of reddish violet color, and then a little white and some burnt umber to dull that, or I'm sorry, raw umber to dull that down. So it's kind of this grayed sort of lavender color. Just going to block this in, and again, I want those really fuzzy lines you can see with that natural bristle. It just frays them out, and it makes it look very out of focus this way. Okay, so a little bit more violet, a little bit more red, and I'm going to go back into that same mixture with that white and that raw umber already into it. A little bit more raw umber actually to dull it even further. Okay, something like that, and as you'll see with this darker value here, I'm going to go right where the black meets that lighter stuff, and right on top like this, and I can just blend that out super well, and already it's starting to look like an out of focus kind of object in the background there. Okay, some more red, and once again I want to go on the very outside. Okay, it gives it a little bit more color as I go out into the dark, and that really just ramps up that out of focus and gives it more of a shine this way. Okay, now I'm going to go back into that dark background color of raw umber and permanent black. And again, I want to neaten this up, but I want to give that fuzzy line. So as you can see here, just using a very dry natural bristle brush, and look at how well that just blends and gives that gradient and out of focus fuzzy line look super well. I highly recommend these brushes for this out of focus effect. And as you can see, it just really looks like it's out of focus. I can't say that enough. It's just, these brushes are awesome for this effect. Okay, so going back into more of that violet, a little bit of red, some white, and let's see, let's get a little bit more white into that. Let's really brighten that up. And something like this, and again, just going to work some more tones into here. Okay, going into some Cad Orange now. And to that, I want to add a little bit of burnt umber to that. Okay, let's get a little bit of permanent red. And let's see, a little bit of raw umber into that as well. Let's darken that and dull that down, but I want that orange tone in there. Okay, something about that value. And right here again with that dry natural bristle brush, I'm going to start streaking in this value. And this is going to be the glow color of the candle illuminating in the background. Okay, now I'm going to take again some more Cad Orange, and now I want to add some permanent red to that. So something about this value here. So it's a reddish orange. And let's see, I want to go around the candle. And I'll just go around the flame, and then I'll just start to dust this up. So as you can see, as paint runs off the brush, it makes it really easy to really blend that up into that darker orange value that I first did. And again, with those natural bristles, it makes that even easier and super foolproof. You don't even have to be that good at blending. As you can see, it just goes up into it really nice. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take some raw umber. Let's go back into that orangey reddish mixture. Let's get some titanium white, just a little bit to bring it up, about this value here. And with that, I'm just going to kind of show the indication of maybe, I don't know, a ledge, or maybe this is like the porch and that's the door in the background and the pumpkin's going to be outside on the front porch in this kind of way. I don't know, it's your painting, you make up the story, but in any case, it's just going to help to show more contrast and some things happening. Okay, so I'm going to take some permanent red now and a little bit of orange to that. And let's get some titanium white and some yellow medium to that. A little bit more yellow medium, that really warms it up. Okay, a little bit more of the red, about this tone, and I want to start hitting the edge of the candle here. This is going to, again, illuminate that glow and really show some shine from this. Okay, so as you can see, the fuzzy lines here, and this is going to help to really be able to receive the other lighter colors that are going to fade into that, and that one into the other one by having those fuzzy lines. It's very important to leave those fuzzy lines because that's easier to blend into versus a hard line. But if you do end up getting a hard line, it's all good. Just take it out a little bit further with some broken lines, and then you can always go back over it with the right color. Okay, so getting that orangey red color, just filling in that area, blocking it in. And now I'm going to take some yellow medium. And let's see, a little bit, just a teeny bit of Cad Orange. That orange will take over if I'm not careful. So just a teeny bit, a pin drop, will change my yellow into a more vibrant kind of looking yellow in that kind of way. And now a little bit of titanium white. And with this value, I want to go ahead and block this in. And again, you'll notice how that yellow immediately blends into that red that I did before by leaving those fuzzy lines. And again, with these natural bristles, this is super easy to do. Again, you don't have to be very good at blending. And I'm telling you, these brushes, they just work automatically for you. Okay, so I want to get a little bit of Cad Orange now into that same yellow mixture there. Okay, just a little bit about this tone, and I want to go back in, and I kind of want to adjust this to kind of have some more orange value in there. So see, this is really neat about acrylics. I can just adjust a value if it's not the exact one, and even along the way, this helps to develop the color with other tones underneath, as acrylics are transparent, as you know, and it just works super well to bring about more of a realistic color instead of flat, a flat dead color. Okay, so more orange. Okay, just kind of something like that, and just kind of up here, I just kind of want to nail just some of that with kind of this glow, as you can see. So I'm kind of fading that out into that yellowish kind of orangey color there. And same thing on this side. This really enhances the glow, and this is really going to take off and really shine up really well. Okay, with the value left on my brush, I'm just going to take it around the candle here, and as you can see, it really starts to build the shine even more with this brighter value, and I'll just fade it again into that other value that's right above it, and this really just takes that glow and makes it more realistic like this, and really just playing these colors back and forth and blending them out. And look at how well those natural bristles do that. Okay, I'm going to take now some red and some more orange. Okay, something about like that. And again, I want to go on the very outside. Okay, and really enhance and bring in some more color. Alrighty, now I'm going to take some Cad Orange. And let's get some raw umber into that. Okay, so kind of this brown orangey color again. And let's get a little bit of red into that. Okay, something about like this. And with this, I'm just going to build a little shadow here on the candle. Okay, start bringing in some other areas of contrast, just like so. Okay, now I'm going to take my number 2 nylon flat brush. I'm going to be able to get into smaller areas. So I'm going to take some titanium white, just a little bit of yellow medium, mostly white. Okay, something about like so. Okay, a little bit more white to brighten that. And I'm thinking about like so. And then right here, just going to block in the flame. Okay, no cleaning necessary. I'm going to take some Cad Orange now and some yellow medium together. And let's go a little bit of titanium white. So I want this brighter, kind of orangey yellow color. Okay, something like this, a warmed up orange. And again, with that number 2 nylon flat brush, let's go in here. And I'm going to give some indications of some bokeh light that's just kind of illuminating. And this really also ramps up the glow and the shine this way. Okay, no cleaning, just pure titanium white, and let's really brighten this up. So, as you can see, the orange undertone, and just kind of bringing that to life. Okay, so now I have my number 2 beat up nylon flat brush. This is going to be really good as well for getting into small areas and blending. Let's go with some violet, some permanent red, a little bit of raw umber, and titanium white. Okay, so this dulled down light lavender color, and right up here, let's go with some bokeh lights. So I'm just going to do this circular motion. And what's really cool is this is super forgiving. Anything that I don't like, I can just cover up with that black and raw umber mixture for the background and really just do anything I want. So just something like that. And now let's get some more permanent red. And again, let's get some raw umber into that. And let's get some titanium white. Okay, a little bit more white, a little bit more raw umber, a little bit more red to make a little bit more color. And now let's see, a little bit more white to brighten that just a little bit more. And right here, I just kind of want to get some of this bokeh light here, not the whole thing. See, I want to leave some of it open for transparency look and effect this way. Okay, I can even use my finger to kind of settle it down a little bit if it gets too much. Or like I said, just take some more of that background color and I can fade it into or cover up completely anything that I don't like. So just kind of working that in, that just kind of brings out the bokeh and more shine that way. Okay, so now some more Cad Orange, a little bit of white into that. And let's see, let's get a little bit more white. Let's go down here so I don't bring more color into it. I'm just trying to brighten it just a little bit more. Okay, so it's got some orangey tone in it. And as you can see, just a little bit of a value change, but not much. And that makes all the difference, having all of these play together and all these value changes and effects. So again, just running that color out, you can see it kind of shows transparency as paint runs off the brush. Okay, a little bit more orange now, a little bit of yellow medium. And let's get some titanium white. Okay, something about this value here is sort of a light peachy color. And again, I just kind of want to hit some of this right here, just to kind of show some color. And let's work some of that in here as well. Okay, now going into some more of the permanent red, a little bit of Cad Orange with that. And right in here, just going to block in some more values like so. Okay, no cleaning. I'm going to take some orange, some yellow, some white. And let's see, kind of something a little bit brighter. And maybe a little bit more orange to that, okay? And you don't have to have the same exact tones I'm using. This is really just for effect. I mean, any combination of reds, yellows, or oranges for this background stuff, whatever you feel like doing, whatever looks good to you, I wouldn't stress on it. It's really all about the foreground, but this background stuff's really going to set it off, so really just go for it again. Cover something with that dark background color if you don't like it. Okay, and as you can see with this lighter peachy color here, just going to fade that into some of that red here and on the outside. So see again, the faded and the fuzzy lines is really what gives that bokeh effect. Okay, no cleaning, just titanium white now. And right in here, I just kind of want to show, I don't know, sort of an overlapping or kind of light zing that's kind of happening in here. Okay, with bokeh, it's just kind of random. So again, just some of this, not all of it, as you can see. Okay, so that just kind of gives it a neat effect. Okay, going back into that sort of lavender color with some of those colors left on my brush, and it's kind of a lavender peachy, kind of orangey color. Okay, so just going to put these in, and again, any combination of colors, it's all good. It doesn't have to be exact, and again, cover anything if you don't like it. Okay, let's get some yellow and some orange and some white. Okay, so basically the same colors, just varied in different ways, a little bit more white, so it's a very light kind of peachy color here. Okay, something like this. Okay, no cleaning necessary. Going into some raw umber and a little bit of permanent black for that background color. Okay, and right here on the traceable that I left open, I just want to fill that in because I want more of a dark background. And see, I'm kind of fading that into those upper lights that I did there. Okay, just kind of something like this, so I can have some lights kind of play on top of this. Alrighty, let's go into some titanium white. And going back into that dull lavender color with a little orange and red in there. And again, doesn't have to be exact, just something similar. And let's go like so. Alrighty, let's get some orange. Let's get some yellow. Let's get some white. And a little red to dull that down, but to add some kind of dark vibrance to it. And with some of this, let's go with these colors on top of these bokeh lights here. This is going to really show the candle glow that's happening here. Alrighty, let's get some permanent red, some Cad Orange, and something like this, a very reddish orangey color. And with this, again, on this candle, like the other one, I want to go on the very edges. And again, this is my number 2 nylon flat brush that I'm using, but it's beat up, so it really helps to get those gradients and also do like the natural bristles. So just kind of wanted to show some ways to do it without the natural bristles and, you know, other ways that you can achieve this effect. So just building some body on the candle there with that same value. Okay, now let's go into some yellow medium and let's get some Cad Orange. Do something like this, and let's go a little bit of white. Okay, so something about this value here. And with that, I just, again, want to go in and let's start building up on the candle here, and I'll just start filling in some areas and just kind of putting this generally where it goes. Alrighty, now I'm going to go into some yellow medium here. Let's go some titanium white. Okay, lots of white, and now just a little bit of Cad Orange. So again, a very light orangey kind of peachy color. Okay, a little bit more white into that. Something about this value, and where I left this part open, just want to block this in. And again, I'm just going to blend this out into both the red and the darker orange value. Alrighty, without cleaning, I'm going to take some burnt umber now. And to that, let's get a little bit of Cad Orange. Okay, so it's this kind of brownish orangish, orangey color here. Okay, something about like this. Okay, and right down here, where it's more in the shadow, let's go with this. And notice just a little bit of paint on the brush. I'm just going to fade it up into some of that orange and yellowish mixture there. Okay, see that kind of encamping around that, making that glow and that shine just happen that much more. Okay, let's get now some burnt umber again. And let's see, right up here, just going to give some shadow effect. Okay, now let's get some red. Let's get some raw umber into that. Okay, so it's like this dark maroon color, and right down here again for some more shadow effect, and I just want to fade that up into that orangey red color. Alrighty, now with a clean number 2 flat brush, I'm just going to take some titanium white. Okay, and right here on the candle flame here, I just want to fill this in. Okay, I'm kind of leaving that outer kind of orangey yellow fade as you see on the very outsides of it. And then down here with paint left on the brush, I kind of want to just fade that off and show some more candlelight effect. And also over here as well, I want to do the same thing. Alrighty, look at those candles shine. Ain't that nice? All those values working together in the contrasting shadow play. Okay, so now just going to take some orange, a good scoop of yellow, and let's get some titanium white. So again, this is mostly orange with, yellow with a little touch of orange to it. Okay, something kind of like this. And I'll just block in this candle with this value like so. Alrighty, now let's get a little bit of burnt umber, a little bit of Cad Orange. Okay, a little bit more burnt umber to darken that a little bit. So it's kind of this orangey brown color again on the darker side. And right where this light orange and black meet, let's go right where those meet. And I'm just going to fade that into that orange value that I put down just a little bit. And as you can see, it really takes that bokeh out of focus effect to the next level. It really adds that enhancement to it. So on the candle to the right here, let's do the same thing. I'll go ahead and fill that same value around that one as well. Okay, now I'm going to get some orange, a little bit of red. Okay, and I did not clean my brush. And with this, I just want to block this in right here. And as you'll see, I'll fade this into that value that I put on the outside there. Okay, and just leaving kind of the middle open on the far right there. Okay, now I'm going to get some raw umber and let's get some more red. Okay, a very dark maroon color. And again, where these two values meet with that black and that red, let's go right here and I'll just fade this down and around everything. Okay, no cleaning again. I'm going to take some orange and some yellow and some red, a little bit of titanium white. Okay, kind of something like this. And again, it doesn't have to be exact. And right here in the middle, let's go ahead and block this in. And again, I'll fade that out into the red as you'll see. Okay, something like that. And now I'm just going to take some titanium white. And just a little bit on both of these candles just to give a little bit of a shine and a glow. Okay, just something subtle like that. Okay, now I have my number 2 nylon flat brush, which has the bristles intact. It's going to help get more precision. So right here, I'm going to do a solid line bokeh light right here with just pure titanium white. That's just kind of sort of pop out another element of shine and just kind of draw the eye in, kind of bounce it all over the place and give this more interest. Okay, more titanium white again. Let's brighten up just some of these bokeh lights here and there. All right, just brightening it up and bringing that bokeh to a new level there. So again, now I want to get some more orange and yellow and white. Let's go for that light peachy color again. Okay, a little bit more white. Okay, something like this. And again, on the candle on the right, let's put in some more glow effect, just a little bit of light orange value like so. Okay, how about that? And now let's get a little bit of white back into that light lavender color. That's, again, a little bit of violet with some raw umber and mostly white. Okay, and just very little paint on the brush on my number 2 beat up nylon flat brush. I just want to kind of throw some of these little bokeh things around. And again, just going to go for it. I don't care about neatness. I can cover it up with that dark value. It's all good. Anything I want to do. Okay, now just getting some red, as you'll see here. Just going to strike just some of this here and there. That just kind of throws in some color and some glow. Okay, now I'm going to go into some Cad Orange. And let's go with some burnt umber to that. Okay, a little bit of raw umber as well. And let's go some orange. And let's warm it up. A little bit of yellow. Okay, so something about like this. And I want to go on the very left of this candle here. And with this value, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building the candle holder that this is on. And as you see, I'm going to start to hit it with the highlights. And this is going to define the holder super well. And it's going to be in this bokeh kind of way. So this is going to be really cool. I'm just going to go down like this. As you can see, that's one side of it. And I'll just fill in with this value to the left of that, just like so. Something like that. And let's go on this side. And again, just with the highlights, I'm just going to hit the outline of the candle holder just like this. Alrighty, now I'm going to go into some titanium white, a little bit of yellow medium, and it's this very, very light peachy color. Okay, and check this out. We're going to do something really cool. I'm going to do this little oval shape here on the right and also one on the left here, and you'll see from the light from the candle, we're able to see now the top of the candle holder that it's sitting on. Okay, isn't that nice? All that candle glow just reveals the dark candle holder there. So now let's see, with that same value, let's get this side, and I just want to hit some highlights and show even more definition. So as you can see, very little paint on the brush, and I'm not going very hard. This is to get that, again, out of focus look. And with that same value, I'll just fill in the pumpkin stem there. Okay, now I've added some Phthalo Blue to my palette. I'm just going to take just a teeny bit, and I'm going to add to that a little bit of raw umber. So I'm looking for a very light Payne's gray, so quite a bit of white. And this is going to be what I call reflective light. And with that, I'm just going to hit some of the stuff kind of bouncing off the side of the candle holder here, just a little bit like this, and then a little bit down below this. And this will really pop this out and really make this take off with more realism and ramp up the shine and the bokeh and all of those cool effects. All right, check that out. Just like that. All right, let's take now with a clean brush, titanium white. And with this, I want to go right in the very center here. Okay, this paint is still wet, so you can see it's a very light Payne's gray color now. And I don't want to take over all of it, of course, because then I'll lose the shine and the glow effect. But look at how that just ramps up that shine and that out of focus that much more. Okay, super cool like that. And now let's get some titanium white. And I just kind of want to hit the center of some of this faded stuff here. Just kind of here and there, and this is really going to ramp up the out of focus. See, just like that. Takes it to a whole new level. Alrighty, so something like that. I'm just going to take now some Cad Orange and some yellow medium together. Okay, something like that. And let's put some background stuff. Just kind of something down here and also up here as well. Okay, no cleaning. I'm just going to take some permanent red now. Okay, just a little bit of paint. You can see I tap a lot of it off just a little bit at a time. And let's scratch some of that in on these. Alright, now moving forward, I'm going to take some Cad Orange and yellow medium together. Okay, I'll just kind of let them mix on the canvas, and I'll just block in this general orange value here with this pumpkin. Alrighty, and I'm going back now to my number 16 flat brush. I'm going to take some raw umber, burnt umber, a little bit of yellow medium, and now some titanium white. Okay, let's get more titanium white. So, kind of this dull brown color in a way. And this is just base coat, something about this tone here. And with this, I just want to block in the entire table with this. Alrighty, now without cleaning, I'm just going to take some permanent black and a little raw umber together. And with the edge of my brush, let's strike in a little wood grain here, like so. Okay, again with my number 16 flat brush, I'm going to take some more Cad Orange and yellow medium together, just a basic orange value. And I'm going to block in the entire pumpkin with this. And because I'm using a nylon brush versus the natural bristles, you'll see with the edge of this, I can make a very nice crisp edge. And this is the difference, of course, between in focus and out of focus, is now I want these crisp lines all the way around. And it really just brings in another contrasting element in this way. Alrighty, so as I go along, I'm going to leave kind of a gap like this just for some dark value here when I want to put the dark shadow creviced areas in. Okay, so just leaving that so I can map that out and just filling everything in like so. Okay, no cleaning, and I'm going to go now into some permanent red. Okay, just a little bit, and Based on the traceable, I'm going to land this in its general location. Alright, now I'm switching brushes to my number 6 angle brush. It's going to really help me get into some more precise areas and have more control. And so with that, I'm going to take now some yellow and some orange together. And let's get some white into that. Okay, so something about this lighter value here, and let's fill in the rest of the eyes with this. Okay, some general orange and red values there. And now I want to get the browns together, and let's get some white. Okay, just a general brown color here, and I'm just going to block in the stem with this. Okay, now I want to go into some raw umber. And let's see, I want to get a little bit of orange into that. Okay, so a very dark value, something like this. And with the edge of my angle brush, it's going to be really easy to control the thickness of my lines, the precision of them, making them very crisp, as you'll see. Crisp. Didn't get the P at the end, I don't think. Okay, so as you can see, just kind of laying these in where I basically want them. Okay, and with this dark value, I'm just going to block it in on top of this orange in its general locations. And in this way, it shows the difference of the candles where it's hitting the pumpkin versus the night that's putting it in the dark, and also to define the crevices, like I said. So as you can see with the edge of the angle brush, super easy to control, very nice precise lines, and I absolutely recommend this brush. Okay, something like that, and I want to take some black and some raw umber together. Okay, just kind of something like that, again, for that dark background color. And right in the center of the stem here, I just want to block in, and of course not go all the way to each side, but leave that for some highlight. Okay, and I'll use the edge of the angle brush again to show some lines like this for some texture, and as I bring it down, just kind of the direction and the texture and the dimension you'll see really well with these lines here. That makes all the difference. Again, not covering up all of that color. As you can see, some of it sticking through, and again, showing the angle and the flow of that stem. Okay, some more black and some more raw umber. And right here, let's do these on this guy as well. Okay, and without cleaning, I'm just going to take some burnt umber, and let's get a little Cad Orange to that. Okay, something maybe about this value here, and on the very bottom, I just want to strike some shadow. Okay, and with that same value on my brush, I'm just going to strike it here. And as you can see, I'm just making it really fuzzy again for that out of focus effect. Okay, back to my number 2 flat brush. It's going to help me to get into some smaller areas and do some blending and shading. So I'm going to take some red and some orange, a little bit of yellow, just to warm it up just a little bit. And with this vibrant red, let's go and strike some of this. And this is going to really ramp up the shine and the glow that's hitting on top of this pumpkin. Okay, something like that. And with a clean brush now, I'm just going to take titanium white with my number 2 flat brush here. And I'm going to take the edge of the brush, and I just want to hash in and just kind of dance around these little sparkling highlights here. And I want to come down, and this is what's cool about highlights. I've said in other videos, you can really put the texture down and show the flow and all of the dimension and how it should be with those highlights. So see, just kind of doing these little broken lines, a little bit more pressure for more opaque, and a little less like this for more transparent. And now with a little bit of paint left on the brush, just going to lightly dust this over, and that just brings in some more light play, just like that, and adds texture and all of that cool stuff. Okay, so without cleaning, I'm going to take some red now and some orange, and let's get a little bit more white into there. Okay, just to brighten that up just a little bit, so it's this lighter kind of orangey red. And right here, this is going to show some more texture on the stem as well as the light from the candle hitting it. Okay, now without cleaning, I'm going to take some raw umber, and I'm just going to sort of dance in the edge of my flat brush, as you'll see here. That just creates some more texture on the pumpkin. See, just kind of something like that, just kind of here and there. And the important thing is I want to follow the flow of the pumpkin. Okay, so now I have my script liner brush. I'm going to do some finer details in cracks and crevices along them. And so I want a lot of water on the script liner brush, very important. And as I load it, I'm going to pull through as I turn it, and it's going to bring it to a nice sharp tip. And with that tip, I can get in here and do these very precise little cracks and lines like this. Okay, something like that. So back to my number 2 flat brush now. I'm going to take some yellow medium, and let's go with some titanium white. And let's go a little bit of Cad Orange into that. So again, a very light peachy orange color. Okay, just something like so. And then on top of everything, I just kind of want to lightly glaze over it. By glaze, I mean I don't want to lay it down and take over everything, but see, I'm kind of settling down some of these dark areas. And in this way, it just gives it more of a natural look this way. Okay, see, something like that. It just gives more of a natural look. Okay, it's starting to come to life. Okay, a little yellow medium. Let's get just a little bit of orange into that. And let's go a little bit of white. So again, a very light yellowish orangey color. And with that, I just want to start striking highlights here and there. Okay, on the very edges like this. See that? And I'll get brighter as I go along. But I don't want to start completely bright again because I'll lose that glow and that shine. And I want to be able to have that and really show a zing. And so it's important not to go full titanium white all at once. Okay, also on this side as well. Okay, with a clean flat brush now, I just want to go titanium white, and I want to load it up and get that nice sharp edge on it. And with the edge, I just want to strike a little bit of the eye, and this is going to really define where the eye is and how the light's really hitting off the edges like this. Okay, and as you can see, just breaking up the line, not doing a full solid line in some places, and that gives the texture of the pumpkin this way. Okay, and with that same white, I'm just going to hit just some of these edges like this. Okay, around the mouth a little bit. And just look at how that just ramps up that shine. It makes it look like a candle's burning in there, and that light's really zinging off on the inside here. Okay, with my script liner brush, this is just yellow medium now with a little titanium white. And this shows up a lot better. But having that light value down first really gives it a place to land, so it shows up a lot better. Okay, along this as well, just strike that edge, and also on the nose like so. Okay, now I'm going to go into some titanium white, just a little bit of yellow medium. Okay, mostly white. And let's get just a pinch of orange into there. Not much. Just a teeny bit of a hint. Okay, something like this with this lighter value, and let's really start to ramp up this shine. I'm going to hit the highlights like so. All right, look at that shine. And with that same value, let's hit this pumpkin as well. Okay, let's go a little bit more titanium white now into that same mixture there. Okay, so we're looking at that same peachy color with a little bit more white into it. And again, let's go back in and ramp up these highlights. Alrighty, now again, let's take more titanium white. And again, my number 2 nylon flat brush, and I want to brighten and really ramp up this side here. Alright, ain't that nice. Now, let's take some yellow medium, a little bit of burnt umber to that. Okay, and let's get some titanium white. So I'm looking for a very light beige kind of color. Okay, something kind of like that. And right here, I went too far with the black again. I covered it with white, as you saw, and super easy to cover up. It's like it never happened. And so here we are. I'm just going to put it where I want it the heaviest, which looks like it's behind the pumpkin with some light hidden, and just kind of fade it out like this. Okay, back to my number 16 flat brush here. I'm going to go into some dark value. I'm going to go raw umber and a little teeny bit of black in there. And with this, I just kind of want to dance it in here and show some wood grain and a little bit of wood details, kind of something like this. And of course, with that same shadow color that's casting the wood grain, I'm also going to use that for the shadow of the pumpkin, just like that. And look how natural that just lays in there. Alrighty, gonna go now into some raw umber and a little bit of permanent black. I want to go a little bit darker now. And with this, I want to go a shadow for the pumpkin, but first I want to use it to kind of go up to the bottom part of him a little bit onto him and really show a contrast of just the dark shadow play. And then as you'll notice, as I get outside, less paint on the brush will mean a little bit lighter of a value. And this is perfect because this gives realistic shadow play this way. Okay, let's see. Let's go titanium white and let's go a little bit of that cad yellow beige kind of color there. Okay, with the burnt umber and a little, I'm sorry, not cad yellow, yellow medium. Okay, something about this value here. Very light brownish color. And I just kind of want to dance this in and just kind of show some more light kind of hitting the table here and there. Okay, and as you'll notice, I don't cover the entire part of the table. I'd leave some of it open, and this way it gives more texture and more detail and just more realism in this way, as you can see. Okay, just kind of like that. And Now just kind of defining the shadow with that light stuff to kind of go around where I want the dark to be for the pumpkin shadow to be more distinct. Okay, now getting more of that dark value, and let's reinforce some of that like so. Okay, back to my number 2 flat brush. I'm going to take some Cad Orange just straight up, and I'm just going to make the indication of these leaves that fell on the porch here. Okay, just kind of like this, just however. And you can do as many or as little, or you can say no leaves. Maybe they swept up today and they've been keeping it clean, and so all the leaves have been done and there's none on the porch, maybe in your picture. So if that's the case, then totally do that. So optional, whatever you want to do. So just as you can see, more just making basic shapes here, nothing special. Just kind of laying those in, and now a little bit of red to kind of change the flavor and add a little bit more body to them. Alrighty, no cleaning. I'm just going to take some raw umber now. Okay, and just like that, I'm just going to place a shadow under these leaves. Okay, no cleaning. I'm going to go into permanent red. Okay, again, and a little bit of orange. And here and there, not everywhere, just want to hit some of this on some of the leaves. Okay, now I'm going to go with a clean brush into some yellow medium now. Let's get some orange into that. And let's get some titanium white. So I'm thinking about that value there. And again, just here and there, but not everywhere, and just making these leaves come to life. Alrighty, with my script liner brush now, lots of water and titanium white, I'm going to go ahead and sign this piece right here. And I want to thank you again so much for your watch time and support and following along. Don't forget to subscribe if you dig my lessons and my art. And let me know how you did down below in the comments, and any questions, let me hear those. I'll do my best to answer anything I can. And so as you can see, just some contrasting elements between in focus, out of focus, lights and shadows. And it really is a good eye-capturing piece and super simple and very forgiving, so totally go for it. And with that said, I want to wish you a happy Halloween and happy painting to you.